Here we are with another episode of QTN. Beautiful day. Winds died down. I don't know, I got about 20, 25 letters to read. I'll try to skim through them. It will probably be boring. Not you guys, but just reading it. I don't know if you want me to read the whole thing. I generally just skim through it, give you an idea of what the guy's writing about. I'll try to do that. And we'll bounce, as we always do, through a lot of different subjects. This is Mike in Montana first up, and he writes about LBE. He likes lightweight LBE. He wants me to look into the Blackhawk Versa harness. Never heard of it, Mike. Sorry. There's a video you did a while back with the KTM up in the woods. You had some simple targets. Shot one of your Glocks. Yeah, that was a Glock 19. Using a down log as covering the rest. Can't seem to find that video, but we're using the Blackhawk Versa that day. No, that was probably the Blue Force Gear 10 speed, I want to say. I don't know if they make that one anymore, but man, is it awesome. It's super lightweight. When I review or test guns or knives on the motorcycle, that's always the go-to LBE. It comes in multicam. I love that color. I don't know. Maybe the Blackhawk Versa is the same way. It sounds like you've bought it already, though, which is generally the case. I find if guys are asking for reviews, they've already bought it. I've talked about that. Throughout your videos, you hinted at the minimalist LBE approach before. That's correct. And he names some off. He says he was a firefighter in the Forest Service during college. They used chest rigs for his radios, and they strapped them on their packs. Now it's out of vogue. When he's a crew chief, sounds like he's in the Guard too, Mike. You in the Guard? Thanks for your service. Then they strap the radios to the reflective belts. He's just looking for different alternatives to integrate both weapons and radio gear. Talks about last fall hunting in the San Juans down in Colorado. I was carrying my 308 and a snubby SP101 357. Wow, dude, that's a heavy 357. I love the SP101, but man, it's chunky. It's stainless steel. I wonder how far you're hiking. I wasn't uncomfortable if there was no getting to it quickly, and after a week of hiking, it wore a hole in my vest where the hammer rubbed. Sorry, I cut your letter in half, dude. Boop. When I was patching the hole in my vest, I had that moment when I realized there has to be a better way. He mentions Blackhawk Versa, Strike Platform, Serpa CQC, Spec Ops holster arrived. He gives a lot of details. Found one company called such and such. They were overpriced. My only comment about that. Any minimalist LBE thoughts you would care to share about products outside normal vest, chest, rig, thigh holsters, or is it time to break out the sewing machine? Wow, there's a lot in your letter. You're asking, I guess, is a way to integrate everything, comms, radio. The answer is yes. Any LBE system will generally do that. If you look at any Soldier LBE, they're carrying everything you're talking about. And I've modeled that. I've made some videos on it already. Radios, I generally don't carry them, and without rule of law, your battery's going to be dead anyhow, so it's kind of a fantasy that your two-way radio is going to be working. It won't. If it does, it's going to be for a week max, probably a couple days, and you won't have a way to recharge your battery generally. But as a gun, I mean, pretty much every shooting video I have out there, I'm showing either a cross draw, maybe a simple chest rig, and again, I'm not going out loaded for bear. I'm not like a level 3 loadout, which I've always called it, going out with like 8 mags and all that. I mean, I could do that to look cool on video, but I think it's basically bull crap, so I don't do that. It's just what I'm using for review. Pin, staple remover, yeah, I use those. Roll of tape, 3 mags, and I always have my Glock 17 with me, always in the desert, so that's just protection, because we have a lot of valuable guns out there, and there's people that roll up that I don't know who they are. I would be careful about thinking you have to have too much. Probably pare it down. It sounds like you're carrying a lot. I would probably, I'm not sure if you need all that. For instance, when you're hunting, if you have a 308, you don't need a 357 with you, says me. You already have a rifle. I mean, you're not in Afghanistan going up against the Taliban. You have too much gun, bro. I'm just telling you, Mike, you do. Leave the 357 at home. You don't need it. You got a 308. Unless you're in a really super dangerous area, hunting like dangerous game, which is so ultra rare. Even in grizzly country, like let's say I'm in Kodiak Island, I drew a permit to hunt grizzly. Well, there I probably would, because that's, I mean, what I was thinking is like a 12 gauge shotgun with slugs, 458 Castle or something like that. But I'd probably have a Glock 20 as well there. but that's a pretty high risk, you know, dangerous game area where you can get charged, eaten alive, as some have been over there. Then you say you want to do Soldier Boy. It ain't gonna work, bro. I'm sorry. You're in, where are you at? Montana. You know, you're too far away. Soldier Boy is a no-notice drill. And for me to say, hey, come on, Soldier Boy, it completely defeats the whole purpose. I've said that in multiple QTNs before. Unless you're local, there's no way I'd ever choose you for Soldier Boy. It defeats the whole process. So what we're basically doing is not doing Soldier Boy. We're just doing a shoot. So you come out and shoot with Nutnfancy, but you have time to prepare all your gear. But giving a short notice to guys, say, hey, you know, within an hour you need to be out there shooting. That's different. I don't do too many Soldier Boys. The viewers just don't support it as a whole. I'm getting about a 1% engagement, if that, out of my 775,000 subscribers at this point in YouTube. That's pretty lame. So it doesn't motivate me to do a lot of Soldier Boy. I'll still do one a year probably because I like it. I think it's fun, and the guys we meet doing it are pretty awesome. But that's where we're at right now. Why didn't you get that, by the way, if we're talking about LB, why didn't you get the Blue Force gear? Go look at theirs. Maybe it was a plate minus. That's probably what it was, a plate minus. And then their 10-speed pouches are pouches, but the plate minus rack is the one I was thinking of. Yeah, buddy. Okay, so this next one is Ben B. I don't know if you want me to tell your last name. He sent in $60. Dude, thank you so much. And he is a Patreon member. I really appreciate it. He's from Albuquerque, New Mexico. And he writes the following. And again, I'll try to jump around. Let's see if I cut his letter in half. Oh, dude, I know this guy. He's written several times. Super awesome guy. And no particular order. He writes really short letters, which I like. They're one-pagers and they're spaced a lot. I really like that. No questions, just a few comments. First, thanks for turning me on to the Walther pistols. I had an urge to buy P99 back in the day, but could not get around the D8 single-action transition trigger and decocker on top of the slide. Since then, I purchased and shot a lot, both a PPQ and a PPS. Both are great guns. Utterly reliable, and they address all the ergonomic complaints I had with Glocks. Agree with your point that you can train to use anything. I shot Glock for years, but Walthers are my Goldilocks pistols. They're just right. Yeah, you can train and should be able to train and adapt to pretty much any pistol. That's one of the tenets of Special Forces folks. I mean, they just use basically indigenous weapons as necessary. And you should do that too. You should be familiar with all platforms, right? That you may or may not have your Primo, whatever it is, PPQ, Glock. I've said that before. Second, he talks about Patreon. Gives an alternative to Patreon. I don't know. For now, right now, Patreon's going well. Now, will I stick with it? Yeah, for now. I mean, it's going well. If it really wasn't for Patreon, I would be doing probably one video a week, which I'm kind of doing for the main channel already, because that's just commensurate with viewer support engagement ratio of the number of subscribers. Basically 50,000 views on a video. I'll pop another one on the main channel, and you know, it takes a long time for people to show up and give me those numbers. Some people don't want me to talk about it, but it's all interwoven to the amount of content flow, so I can't address it without talking about that. And as a creator, my motivation level is basically, you know, what's running the whole channel. So if I'm not motivated, I don't do nothing. Enter Patreon. Patreon is different. So it's not views based. It's really not participation based. It's just guys will give $5 a month. Yeah, money motivates me. I think it does most people. It pays the bills here. I like that. And that's all good. So Patreon flow over there is really fun, and it's a lot more accelerated. So they're getting about 3 videos, no, actually about 2 videos a week. I'm posting a video like every 3rd or 4th day, depending on how big the video is. Like the BOK videos, I let them sit for a little bit because that's big content. I'm sending the message, hey man, I want most people to see this. It's very core content. But I love Patreon so far. You know, if it ends up flopping, then what will I do? I don't know. Go to your alternative here. Maybe. The problem I've had is to pull someone from another platform like YouTube to whatever. let's say it's a completely different website, and I go and I make a video, and I leave the video up for 30 days. I go, hey guys, now I'm in this platform. The amount of people that will go over to that platform are about 2%. Look at the B channel. B channel, I've been pushing it for 10 years, and I really wanted to use the B channel. Yes, as a backup, I'm talking the Nutnfancy Project in YouTube. That's the name, the Nutnfancy Project, no spaces. And I wanted to use it as a backup in case they shut down my main channel. It still serves that, but I also wanted to concurrently post. So I really like to, because I can crank out a lot of content when I'm motivated. And what I wanted to do is post a video on the A channel and post one on the B channel, and both within like 3 days gets 50K, 100,000 views. That was really my goal, and I think that's super, super reasonable. You know, you're looking at 1/7, 1/8 of my subscribers within a week. That's really generous, but it just never happened. Guys, go over to the B channel. I've posted some major content over there, and it's kind of flatlined. So that drives to my motivation level again. And you know, if guys don't want to hear it, sorry, it is what it is, because if I'm not motivated, the content just doesn't happen. And then Ben keeps on talking about, I'd love to see videos devoted to the Beretta 1301, the Stoeger M3000. Benelli M4 is stupid expensive, lacking in second cool for me. I closed some money to support the project. Yeah, he sent $60. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. He writes, Keymod is dead. M-Lock will rule henceforth. SOCOM has selected M-Lock. Okay. Everybody wants the snake eaters, wants what the snake eaters use. Magpul has won the marketing war. Okay, I love you, Ben, but dude, who gives a crap? It is so funny that people put so much credence in what the military chose. I honestly don't give a shit. Okay, I don't give a shit. So if SOCOM suddenly says, hey man, M-Lock is the go-to, we did these tests, and I don't give a shit. All I know is my own data, and it's worked great for me. So me going out there and using Keymod, which for whatever reason, I mean, I'm not saying I don't like M-Lock. M-Lock's fine. But I invested money into Keymod, and I'm not going to abandon it just because of some internet group thing. Love you, mean it, but I don't care. I will give a shout out to what M-Lock rail you like. He says the ALG Defense Ergonomic Modular Rail EMR V2. Holy hell, that's a long name. 9.3 ounces, 13-inch model, about 3 ounces, less than a Troy Alpha rail. Okay. I gave him some promo there. Recently read, let's see, saw your video review on the Woodsman PAL. Meyer read Saw Chronicles Volume 1 by John Meyer, available on Amazon. Meyer describes in detail the kit carried by SOG Spike teams in Laos. Their average load was 90 pounds, and they thought they were traveling light. Boom. That's a good statement. That's what I've always said. To be prepared, to have a true system, first aid, and this is like getting into combat loadout. So not a civilian without rule of law loadout, generally speaking, but a combat loadout. Guys are carrying a lot of weight and ammo. Comms gear, first aid, food, water. I've preached about this for a decade. Sounds like this book, whatever it is, I haven't read it. It's probably awesome. He's just talking, giving some realistic experience in Vietnam of the operators there. Relevant excerpts from this book. He says, I would carry at least 34 20-round mags for the CAR 15, this back in Vietnam. We'd also place 18 rounds in each magazine, which gave me 612 rounds for that weapon, at least 12 rounds for the M79. That's a single-shot grenade launcher. The emphasis was packing firepower for survival. I preferred to go hungry as to running out of ammo. Items for creature comfort were discarded in favor of carrying an extra grenade or high-explosive M79 round. All that rings true to me, bro. I mean, that's what I would be doing, too. On the right side of my harness, I always carried a Frank and Warren's Survival Axe Type 2 8642C, whatever the heck that is. I preferred it to the machete because the backside had a nasty sharp hook that cut through jungle vines on return swing. Okay, so Frank and Warren was apparently one of the military contractors who made the Woodsman's PAL. Given the SAWC as SOG Spike teams, that must have been one hell of a tool to warrant the place in their gear. No mention is made in the book concerning his specific fuel use, but obviously it was to clear the jungle. All right, I see your point, Ben. So he's saying that, hey, they're very weight limited, they're SAWC limited, and they made room for basically a heavy duty woods clearing tool, which subsequently became the Woodsman PAL. That's actually a good letter. I like that. That's reinforcing my philosophy here, which is light is good, light is best. Matthew C. in Pleasanton, California. He writes, let's see, have it highlighted. I'm going to jump through. Oh my gosh. He goes, I'm writing you a follow-up letter to let you know that even though I'm not a subscriber of YouTube, I am still watching and enjoying your videos. I don't understand why you don't subscribe, dude. Come on now. Matt, subscribe. I think some people may think they're on some list if they're subscribed to YouTube. I don't get that. I'm not a conspiracy guy. I think it's a bunch of horse shit to worry about that. I was like, just subscribe. If they want to hunt you down and find out what videos you've been watching, I'm talking like Big Brother stuff. They can easily do it. Subscribe, dude. I'm still watching, enjoying your videos. I wrote you in 2011. I think you read my letter in the video. There was a Marine in the background, but I can't seem to find that video. At the time, I enjoyed your knife reviews and outdoor adventures. It seems like you did more of that back then. I've just continued to watch your channel as it has grown exponentially. I don't know if exponentially has grown, but kind of, sort of. And we've talked about this in other QTN episodes, adventures. I want to do more. Again, it all comes down to viewer support. The numbers I threw out are votes. And if I throw out and spend 4 days on a backpacking trip, and it gets 0.5% of viewer engagement, why? My wife and I retired in 2015 and moved to Arizona, beautiful, wonderful, free state. Now I get to enjoy your gun reviews after moving out of California. Congratulations. Since moving, I have purchased handguns based on your reviews. I've also used many of your criteria when I rent handguns to try before I buy. This has worked out really well. Every handgun I test, I also ask myself, does it connect? Please review the competitive options. Please continue the competitive options portion as I enjoy how you compare and rank handguns. Thank you. Now that I can conceal carry, I've gone through several holsters and belts. He's talking about me doing a bunch of holster reviews. I'll never do that. It's just, I don't want to do holster reviews. There's a ton of content talking about holster reviews. I've done some already, just my favorites, but I'm not going to go out and spend Patreon money to go buy more holster systems. He's mentioning the Black Arch, whatever that is. I just got too many other content things that I got to get to. There's so much I want to push through the project. Of course, I still buy knives and have moved up from large knives to more of the 4 to 5 inch that feature decent steel. Kudos on the utility tools knife review. I want one now. That's a really great knife. If you haven't looked at that, the UTK, it was awesome. I still have that one too, by the way. I like your watch videos, and I have owned many diver style watches, but the only watch for me is the Luminox Series 3050. I would like to get the Hazard 4 HWD. Master 1000 is being worn in the Zodiac today, dudes. Yellow silicone strap, love it. Hard to pull over the Gore-Tex though, because it has like a rubber grommeted sleeve there. I enjoy your Corvette. I'm a Jeep guy myself. Bought it for things I plan to do now that I'm retired. My wife and I find the Jeep that I purchased, and so I had to be her. Uses the B word for 6 months. It was worth it. I enjoy the Soldier Boy call-out videos, but I really like to know chest rig or battle belt, or is the battle belt a passing fad? I think chest rigs are here to stay. They're so much better because they take the weight close, they distribute it across your thorax, your chest. I think battle belts, if that's what you're saying, if they're making a comeback, I think it will be a fad. I haven't really been paying attention. I would like you to know that of all the videos you produce, my wife and I enjoy the ones where you go backpacking with a friend and your dog, Allie. This is an old letter. I know, Allie's gone. We are crushed. Still. I especially enjoy them when you're testing some gorgeous fixed blade knives. Yes, your biggest impact on my wallet has been your purchase of knives. I didn't even know I was a knife guy until I discovered your channel. I have many of the knives that you've reviewed and enjoy using them. Several of them were purchased for me by my wife as wedding anniversary or Christmas gifts. I miss those sledgehammer videos too. My buddy and I actually did those just outside of Vegas, and it was some of the most fun we ever had in the desert. And yes, it's a lot of work to set up and take down. But I want you to know that you have turned a sleeping citizen into a neighborhood sheepdog. I have food and water for emergencies. I help my neighbors and take a no chicken shit attitude at work. I was born and raised in California, and I don't even recognize this state anymore. I'm in California. I know exactly what you're talking about, dude. It's bad. But I take the good. I've said that before. There's really good things about it like this. I can't do this in Wyoming or Utah, where I'm at today. No way. It's almost a full-time job to write to the state representatives to respectfully request that they vote no on anti-gun legislation. Yeah, California's lost. The battle's lost. I still commend you for doing that, but it's so socialist. It's borderline communist out here. They hate conservatism, everything it stands for. They embrace leftism and everything that stands for. They're pro-government, they're anti-individual, on and on and on. California is, it's lost, and it's going to get worse. So if you're in California and you're a freedom lover, a gun owner, you're an enemy of the state, bro. Right now you have to register to buy ammunition. And a lot of gunners, like this guy, what was his name? Matt, in Pleasanton, he's been fighting. He's been doing his part, you know, trying to push back. But there's so many complacent gun owners that don't. I mean, when I went to the gun rally earlier this year, I was astonished at how few people showed up in Utah, which is a very pro-gun state. I mean, we were outnumbered probably 25-1 with the leftist disarmament crowd ranting, raving, spitting, fomenting. 25-1. It was very disheartening, especially in a state that's supposedly conservative, although Utah is turning into a liberal state, believe it or not. I heard a statistic last week that registration Democrats versus Republicans are like 3-1. Yeah, I'm voting. I'm still in there. I'm kind of in the lifeboat for sure, but things are not good. I'm not going to lie to you, and they're going to get worse. Okay, Randy A. in Wilsonville, Oregon. He says, thanks. Now, this is my type of letter, dude. Short, to the point, handwritten. Hi, Nutton. Hope this reaches your hands. I know your time is limited, and thank you for reading this. I really appreciate many years I've been watching your videos. You spend a lot of time putting out solid, high-quality videos. They've helped me learn about gear, concealed carry, and what really matters in life. Not everyone has a role model like you, and so I'm thankful to have found your channel. Thank you, sir. I appreciate those words, Randy. With the internet abuzz with distracting 5-minute videos, you stake to claim on producing substantial, worthwhile content. Thank you. That's Randy in Wilsonville, Oregon. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I'm a consumer in YouTube as well. I watch videos of different genres, not really mine. And I won't go into what I watch. It's just fun, sometimes silly stuff. I like feature-length videos. I hate 5-minute videos. I dislike 10-minute videos because as soon as video's over, now I got to go surf around and find something else to put on my iPhone, usually during lunch to watch or when I have some downtime. For me, I'd much rather have an engaging 1-hour video. And if I can't make it through as you know, a consumer of the content, I'll come back to it. You know, there's a lot of videos I'll just bite off in chunks. So I'll do 20 minutes here, another 20, another 20. I love that. I love full-length content as a viewer myself. It has to be interesting though. I don't want some guy saying the same thing over and over again. I don't want it to be boring. You know, what I've been selling lately in the channel is if you see my videos, just hit the 1.5 times speed. Maybe this video, so you can still rip through it if you can, like, you know, knock 50% of the length off of it. Next up is no name. I think he calls himself AI. U.S. Army guy. He's into lightweight kit. As you know full well from your time in the Air Force, when civilian joins the service, he's issued a basic kit of equipment by his branch. If he deploys, he makes friends with dudes in the S4. Just sticks around long enough, he'll end up with a pilot kit when it comes to I want to summarize. In any case, the complete savvy kit comes in huge dead hooker bags. The bags are so big and heavy that wheels and carry handle are required to tote it around. You could probably fit 2 grown men in each bag. Okay, anyways, I'm jumping ahead. I've seen soldier after soldier fall into the same trap of thinking that they need to use every available pouch and accessory on their plate carrier kit. this is what I was just saying at the beginning of this video, is that pare it down. Don't take stuff you don't need to take. And what I see a lot in YouTube are a lot of operators, or they sell themselves as operators. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't, but they have a certain kit, and all the videos they do, they show like a full battle loadout. And then you have people who are basically coming off the video game console that will never go into combat, and they want to duplicate that, and it's ridiculous. What I've always said is tailor it to the mission, whatever the mission is. Like if we're in without rule of law and I'm doing neighborhood patrols, I'm going to do a level 3 loadout. I'm going to be loaded up because now we don't have rule of law. We don't have police forces. We may have people, predatory folks coming into the neighborhood trying to rape, pillage, kill, whatever, steal. And you're going to be the law in that situation. You're going to band with your neighbors, and they're going to, you know, provide security. So in that situation, I would carry a pistol. I'd carry more ammo, all the stuff I just talked about, flashlight, first aid kit, stuff. But if I'm in rule of law, I don't carry that crap. And even in wartime, I would look at it very carefully. What you see when guys go on ops, and we read that letter about the Vietnam ops, is it's really only this essential stuff. If it's not directly related to saving your life, if you're on foot and you don't have vehicular support, either boat, tank, armored vehicle, whatever, MRAP, you're going to pare it down. What is that? A seal out there or something? It's a seal. That's cool. It'd be cool if there's a shark. I want to see a great white shark out here. Every square inch of molly needs to be covered. Every pouch needs to be filled. I was exact same way once. The funny thing is that all the real door kickers that I've been able to interact with, shoot with, and hang out with during my thus far short time with the unit have exactly the opposite philosophy. Hello. Getting attacked by a shark. Exactly the opposite philosophy when it comes to gear. They run the lowest profile guns and kit possible. Protection is sacrificed over mobility. That's just what I was saying. Agree. Taking some waves here. Why even bother when you have a high-speed chest rig clipped onto a minimalist plate carrier? Obviously, the mission ultimately determines what gear kit to bring. Hey, I was just saying that. Firepower versus mobility. Exactly. He talks about some other stuff. Quad rail. I take a look at the rifle that so-and-so is using in the first Magpul Art of the Dynamic Carbine video. He's got 2 flashlights, a quad rail all the way up to the large Noveski flash hider, stainless steel barrel, a huge IR laser designator, and an extra magazine on the gun. It probably weighs upwards of 11 pounds loaded. That's correct. That's like when the Art of the Carbine came out or whatever. But again, a lot of the operator crap you see on YouTube, including his, is designed to sell stuff. They have secret deals with manufacturers. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't, but I know a lot do. And they're trying to push merchandise to you. And they are very closely allied with these manufacturers, and so they want to demonstrate it. They put on their guns, they're getting this stuff sent to them for free, and they speak a lot about it in their videos, and they're trying to push merchandise, and in exchange either get money or free kit. That goes on all the time. I talked about it. It's called TPA. It's a bunch of crap. Anyways, he goes on. I loved how he made a point of that. Yeah, I mean, if you have an AR-15 and it weighs over 8 pounds, I'm talking full up 8 pounds. I'm talking not loaded magazine, but it has optics, a light, your sling. If it's over 8 pounds, you need to have a good reason why. That's where I'm at right now. And I do have a couple that will break the 8 pound mark, but they're SPRs. They're 18-inch barrel SPRs, and the good reason why is I want extra velocity, so I'll take an 18-inch barrel. But they're not much over 8 pounds. And I'm trying to think offhand what my typical AR weighs. I think naked like 6.75 pounds. My builds are that way. And then if I go precision, I'll take some more 18-inch barrel. I still love. I am kind of bouncing more back to using 16s because I haven't been doing that much long range. I have seen some guys say, hey, we want more long range. Maybe I'll do some more. Long range though takes so long to set up. So if I go out and shoot and I have 10 guns, I'll get to 2 of them if I do long range. If I do a 700-yard setup, that's 2 guns for a whole day of shooting pretty much. And unless you know, it results in, you know, more viewer interest and engagement, I probably won't make a special effort to do it. Unless I hear a lot of people wanting it. This guy finishes off by saying the door kickers, pipe hitters, whatever you want to call them, are all running the lightest guns and kit they can get away with. Yep. Run the lightest gun and kit possible. Be realistic with your assessment of what's needed. Match the kit to the mission. I think we mentioned that before. Totally agree, brother. Totally agree. That was no name. Maybe AI, I said. And I think that dude's in Salt Lake City. This is John Conder. John C. Really good dude. I hope you're still watching. Are you out there still, John? What a pleasant surprise to see you read my letter on QTN. And it's really funny that I read his letter and then I'm reading it again. I think he just wrote in. I'm not really like going through and selecting letters. It's really actually random. I just go, if a guy has like a 7-page letter, I probably won't read it. I can't summarize it. It's too much work. I watch daily and go back many times to watch other videos. You made my year, Nutton. Like I said, you're Olympian at what you do. From your videos, I built my level 1, level 2 first aid kits, purchased a Smith & Wesson Shield, Ruger American, Kel-Tec 2000. Surprisingly, most folks that work with me don't make a ton of money, so I definitely get high-value firearms. Next on the list is likely a Century Arms C39. I still like that gun. A lot of negative press about it. I'm not too sure it's all valid, though. Recently, your philosophy videos have really helped me as I'm a new father with 2 young boys, ages 1 and 3. Hardest job so far in my life. My father was my hero, teaching me woodsmanship, canoeing, camping, fishing. Every summer, starting at age 6, we went to Boundary Water Canoe area in the Arrowhead area of Minnesota. Imagine camping for a week out of a canoe, no motorized vehicles, and leave no trace. Dude, that sounds awesome. We did that growing up. We'd go to Yellowstone with our Grumman canoes and camp for a week, and it was fantastic. Great memories. Good on you for giving your kids those memories. They're always going to remember going out with dad in the wilderness and just getting away from electronic devices, phones, work, all the hassles, all the garbage in the news, and just go out in the wilderness and live. I just love that you're doing that. I can't wait till my boys are old enough and I can teach them what my father taught me. Your videos remind me that my most important job right now is to be an excellent father to them. Yes, it is. Live to impress yourself, right? That's exactly correct. If you haven't seen it, go watch my video, Live to Impress Yourself, posted many years ago. Very true still. Don't listen to naysayers. Just press on. Have a vision of where you want to be, who you want to be, and get there. Just pretend you're that person and rise to that level, and you'll be amazed at what you'll achieve. If you're ever passing through Oak City, don't hesitate to call. I appreciate it. I'll have to take a picture of that, and if I'm in Oklahoma City, I'll drop by. Cool. Next up is Ethan C. in Illinois. I'll skim this. This is funny because I have a note to myself. I create Leos. I create law enforcement officers. I don't know why I said this in other QTNs. But here it goes. Here's another one. I live with my parents, who I love dearly, although they have always been very critical of my love of dangerous things. They have never owned a gun, not even a knife. They have completely restricted me in doing so as well. This is my constant conflict of what I want to do in life. Sorry that's so loud back there. It won't last forever. That is the ferry going back and forth. We're at Angel Island, actually, in their bay. Kind of cool. I drove out here yesterday, pulled the boat out of storage. My goal is to move to Colorado and become a state trooper. I've always wanted to be a police officer. And once I visited the West recently, going through 4 states, Colorado seems to be the one for me, and to me the most beautiful. There's nothing wrong with Colorado except the magazine ban is a problem, and they're having some issues with the legalization of pot. So look at that. I mean, if you're cool with that, move to Colorado, dude. I like that Magpul pulled out of Colorado as a statement, since they're infringing on Second Amendment rights. Politically, I hate Colorado for that. They're about like California and Oregon to me. Rant complete. Thanks for listening. I have a girl in my life. We're getting more and more serious. We believe what we're doing is going to move out to Colorado next year. She digs dangerous things. The idea of living in the West too. Right now we're both working, putting almost everything aside to save to accomplish this. A job that I wouldn't be so motivated at even if I got, he's kind of, a job that I wouldn't be so motivated at or even have gotten if I'm sorry, dude, I can't understand what you're saying. I wouldn't have made these plans. I couldn't have the courage and knowledge to carry that and go for it without you. Thank you. You are truly a second father to me. You have completely taught me how to be a good person, amazing life values, let alone great advice on gear. I want to live up to everything I've learned. I truly hope that I meet you one day I hope I'll ace the gear check. Thanks for opening my eyes. That is Ethan in Illinois. Dude, I wonder if you ever became a cop. Interesting. He talks about what he has. He's a Phoenix flashlight guy, Spyderco, and the knives he has. Yeah, let me know in comment if you saw this video and you became a trooper in Colorado. I'd be interested if you like it or hate it. Anything you go do like that, it's going to have some downsides. Like I've always said in QTN, you got to lay it all out. Be super honest what's good and bad about the occupation. Talk to people who do it. And then once you do that, you decide, hey, I'm going to do it despite the obstacles. But a lot of people don't do that. They just launch into it and they have a, you know, kind of a romantic fantasy of how something's going to be. It's like one year we were out here, Mrs. Nutnfancy and myself were in the Red Zodiac, and we showed you, that's on the B channel, about the tugboat, moving the boats around. And a tugboat captain can make good money. I think I talked about it in the QTN. But I talked to one and he goes, yeah, we make good money, but we have to pay astronomical insurance rates. So that's one of the downsides. And he talks about a schedule. So he's like, yeah, it's a good job. I'd do it all over again, but it's got a lot of downsides to it. And it's pretty interesting. Like there's competition to get the gigs to tugboat, I guess, where he was at. It's not just like he has all the work he can. He has to be aggressive in getting contracts. Everything has a downside. Go in with your eyes open. Hi, Nutton. Over the years, going back to the beginning of the project to days when you were deployed and the local motorcycle traffic would drown you out in the audio. That was in Turkey. That was so funny. You remember that? That was in 2008. I've gotten a great deal of enjoyment and honest information from your videos. I've also developed a greater love of outdoors through your adventures. The more I see Utah in your videos, the more I want to move out there. Please don't. Don't move to Utah. We got too many people. Holy hell. There are so many people moving to Utah. Our traffic is awful. It used to be pretty good, but yeah, there's other great states. Wyoming is super sparsely populated. It's every bit as beautiful as Utah. Nevada, that's where you should move. Just saying. You've also been very generous with the inclusion of TNP souvenirs and gear when I've made purchases or donations. I really appreciate and enjoy receiving them. Tactical Doodle does a great job of that. I do too when I send out giveaways. I do giveaways every month to my Patreon members, and I give them stuff. And it's usually signed stuff. We like giving value, more value than you pay for. That's what I like as a consumer. I think you guys are the same way, so we try to do it. I picked up a handful of Kershaw Skyline Damascus versions from Blade HQ not long ago. Oh, dude, you're the one that sent me that one. So he sent me a Damascus steel Kershaw Skyline, and we have that. That's really nice of you to do that. I got one for myself and one for you. Skyline's probably one of my favorite knives, even though it lacks a number of things. Number of things many great knives have. Gimping for one. It's so funny. It's Gimping, but I've called it Gimping as a joke. And I think a lot of people actually at this point think it is actually Gimping from my videos. It's Gimping. It's pretty funny. There's simply something fun, practical, and usable about it. Yeah, I still love the Skyline. It's so excellent. The only thing you can really say is the clip isn't totally awesome, but whatever. There's always downsides to everything. All my best to you, your family. Looks like suspect is doing well. That's James, actually, from Texas. Texas, QTN, Zodiac, continuing. What's this guy saying? Okay, so this guy wants me to look into solar panels. I've been a long time subscriber to your channel, YouTube. I'm an outdoor enthusiast, operator, gear geek, pro gun. Some suggestions for you to look at are Solo and Dex battery chargers and our X panels such as the 18 watt. Let me know if you are interested in reviewing them. Okay, so you sell these, and I'm gonna tell. Usually I don't do this, but I'll just say it's Wagan.com, WAGAN.com, and they have solar panels. I don't really want to review them at this point. Maybe later. I do get a lot of hit-ups to review stuff and get free gear, and I basically say no to everything. Unlike all the other gear channels you guys are watching, they'll take it. Yeah, send it on. I'll do a review. Patreon money. I mean, as long as it's coming in. Ad money, I'll just use it to buy the stuff or loan it. Also, make sure you guys support Gunnies, the Great American Gun Store. They've done a great job at accelerating the gun show and the Nutnfancy project. So I ask you that when you buy a gun, don't buy it locally. This is what I'm saying now. Buy it from Gunnies. Just call them up, say, listen, I saw the review, Nutnfancy project. Give me the best price you can, and I'll buy such and such gun. A good example of that would be the Palmetto KS47. I just went into post-production with that video. The review's done, video's done. Buy it from Gunnies. Even though, what if it costs you 30 extra bucks? What you're doing is supporting Gunnies, who supports me. That's what I'm asking. So he goes in talking about his solar panels. There, I mentioned the name. Probably not. Thanks for the invite to do that. There's a bazillion things that I could review. I just review core content. Right now, it's basically watches, knives, and guns. Watches, there are actually more and more TNPers that are getting into them. I just read one of their letters. They like it. It's still low engagement content, but I enjoy it. Will it last? I'm thinking probably not. It'll probably just run its course. I'm going to get done reviewing all the watches that I spent money on. I'll sell them, and then we'll take a look. But there's so much other content I want to do. It really depends on engagement level. I will always go back to core content I've tried before. In other words, you may see a mountain bike video. You'll see a motorcycle video. You'll see backpack videos. And what I'm doing at that time is seeing where the interest level is. So I'll watch the views on that. And if I see good views and good engagement, then guess what I'm motivated to do as a creator? Make more. This anchor's dragging just a little bit, unfortunately. So this is a picture of some dude's loadout right here. This is Raymond Garcia in Illinois. He's a design student. Dude, you got a great holster there. Great holster. His everyday carry is Benchmade CLA Bertucci. There you go, watch guy. A4T titanium field watch. Did you guys see that? That's awesome. I looked at a Bertucci. I actually ordered one. I didn't review it, and I didn't like how long the lugs were. It like really super long, so I took it back. I probably should have reviewed it before I took it back, but I was like, I don't think anyone cares. But here we go. A guy who wants one or has one, so I probably should have reviewed it. Climbing carabiner with some stuff on it. He has an XDS 3.3 from 45 ACP. Also Benchmade Contigo, Leatherman Surge, Zippo Classic Black, Benchmade Dagger, Mag-Alike Tactical. But he says he carries that in a backpack. Okay, I'm gonna have to summarize this. After consuming a lot of your content, I realized that I made a lot of these decisions when designing, but also when scoping out new gear for camping, recreation, or EDC. I can positively say that your content has an influence on the gear that I select and the reasons I choose to do so. Thank you, sir. After being a full-time student at a widely acclaimed liberal college, again, this is Raymond Garcia in Illinois, I've become utterly exhausted of the bullshit liberal school of thought that practices and reinforces dependency and groupthink. Thank you. That is well said. I couldn't agree more. It is bullshit. It disgusts me that my institution and plenty of others across the country are actively doing a disservice to our young men and women. They saturate us into an environment that repeatedly discourages responsibilities of one's actions, hold firm in civil conversations, and ability to critically think. Within the last few months of my college career, nearly over, I was desperate to find an outlet that identified strong values and formed a culture around honesty, self-sufficiency, and hard work. I was thankful to discover your channel as it incorporated all those things and more. I found a lot of your advice to mirror mine quite a bit of what my parents reinforced growing up, and still continue to do so. Through your videos, I've been able to hold fascinating conversations with family and friends. Sometimes we would agree, sometimes we wouldn't. Agreement was irrelevant, as sharing new ideas and critiquing different perspectives based on schools I thought was the best part of the experience. Thank you. That is a very nice thing to say, Raymond. And I'm glad it's a civil discourse and interchanging of experience. I love that. I think it's cool. I have a lot of friends that are liberal and don't agree with me politically, but they're good people. They're fun. They're down to earth. I enjoy being around them. We just steer away from politics. What I'm finding now from the left, though, is that they're not civil. That you have a liberal and then you have a leftist. They're really two different people. A liberal who believes in liberal ideologies, maybe a socialist or socially liberal, whatever, and a conservative, different schools of thought. But they can discuss, they can get along. Leftists are actually out to destroy conservatism. They're out to destroy people who disagree with them. I mean, literally destroy them. You see shouting attacks, acid attacks, violence against conservatives. Breitbart just came out an article, and they have I think probably at this point 1,000 different chronicled experiences of violence perpetrated by leftists against who they feel are conservatives. Really, to me, it's a battle between good and evil, and I'm just seeing that accelerating as the days go on. And you can't really reason people like that, so you can waste time talking to them. They're basically going to call you a racist, a Nazi, a homophobe. They're going to call you evil, and that's what they're doing. They're trying to dehumanize you and take away any type of argument you would have, because if they can convince whoever's listening to your guys' argument that you're not a human, that you're insensitive, which is a great ploy of theirs, then they've undermined any arguments you'd come out with, because they don't really have logic and arguments behind what they'll say. They have emotion and they have name calling. Leftism does. I hate leftism. I will always be an enemy to leftism. I think this country, as founded, was an enemy to leftism, because leftism takes away a man's ability to be himself, to be an individual, to be self-sufficient, to think for himself, to be able to keep his property. It's his property. It's not the government's property. They don't come and take your property away. To be able to be armed and to basically conduct your life as you see fit. That's what the Constitution guarantees. Leftism wants to take away all of that and make you a ward of the state. They will tell you how to think, what to think. They'll tell you what's proper and correct political speech. And if you fall out of line, they will use a rule of force against you to make you fall in line, whether it's monetarily, fines, throwing you in jail, whatever. History is replete with this too. This isn't new. The school of thought from the leftists is actually pretty old. What we're seeing in these days is this accelerating, and it's picked up a lot. Sorry for the rant, but you kind of got me going there, and I liked your comment a lot. It is without a single doubt that your efforts through the years to document and present the Nutnfancy project have framed my thought process. Thank you for all you do. I actually look forward to seeing new content. I'm proud to be a TNPer. I joined Patreon last month. Thank you, dude. I appreciate that. I checked your website, noticed Angry Owls were sold out. Any idea when they're back in stock? I think they are back in stock, Raymond. So check out. These letters are kind of spanning a broad expanse of time in no particular order. And then I had something fall off over here. Nutton, I just thought I would drop a line to you. I see you got my last letter, a true surprise. Since I have been keeping up with your videos, I really enjoy them. Keep up the good work. Hope all is well as going for you and the family. Hope you keep the gun reviews coming also. I think, again, Gunnies is a key part of that, and gun reviews do get pretty good support, and so I continue them. Just kind of dovetailing back what I said earlier. Let's see. Funny how many of your videos have become the cornerstone to influence my purchases. Well, after seeing your older videos, like on the Kel-Tec guns, I have a Kel-Tec SU16A. I'm looking to get a PF9, though I like my Glocks. The Kel-Tec SU16 series, I'm never going to sell. I love those guns. They're pretty excellent. They're not high rounds count guns. I don't know if I'd put thousands and thousands of rounds through my SU16s, but what they're for is like a limited engagement, like I said. If you look at my Air Force Survival Bailout Kit videos, I have a series of that. My gun of choice was an SU16. And I determined I don't need full automatic fire, and I just need something that's super lightweight, relatively accurate. And at the time, I chose SU16. Would I still do it if I redid those videos? Probably not. I'd probably go with my lightweight ARs, my own builds. But the nice thing about SU16 is that it folds in half. It's so super compact, and it has a full-length barrel too. PF9, I still carry those in my motorcycle bags. I'm mostly carrying a Glock 43 or P365 in daily carry. Thanks again for all you do. Positive attitude, you betcha. This is Miss Daisy Clarice Hannon, circa 2004. Puppy dog from one of the TNPers. Puppy dog. Dogness update. I gotta tell you, going out in the woods right now is really hard for me emotionally because I miss Allie so much. I really miss her. I mean, and so does Mrs. Nutnfancy. The whole family does. It's left a hole in our heart when she died last year. Oh gosh, it's just heartbreaking for us. And so going out in the woods and in the areas where you used to tromp around, and the creeks and the mountains, it's just, and those areas are always so spiritual for me. You know, I go out there and I connect with nature. I've always had that side to me. whether it's given to me by my father, I don't know, but I've loved it. And not having Allie there beside me just crushes me. It's a grieving process still, and I'm pretty good about tucking that grief in the back of my head in a certain corner. I'll visit it when it's appropriate. I've cried multiple times thinking about loss of Allie and not having her around, and I can make myself cry again thinking about it, because I had so many great times with her. And that's all you do in life, is you just make a series of memories with your family members, with your dognesses, with your friends. And it's been a core central concept to the Nutnfancy project to do so, to use